All right, let's jump right in. You've probably heard of India's original white revolution, that huge push that made us the world's biggest milk producer. Well, get ready for the sequel. The Ministry of Cooperation is launching what they're calling White Revolution 2.0. And this time, it's all about taking that success to the next level, with a huge focus on empowering the women who are really the backbone of the dairy sector.
So, how big of an expansion are we talking about here? Well, the target is a massive 50% increase in milk procurement through dairy co-ops. Yeah, you heard that right, 50%. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a really ambitious 5-year plan that's designed to seriously boost rural economies.
Okay, so what's the game plan to hit that target? It really breaks down into 3 key parts. First, directly empowering women. They're the foundation of this whole industry. Second, beefing up the national dairy cooperative that's already in place. And third, and this is a big one, establishing 1.20 lakh brand new dairy cooperative societies. So it's a whole ecosystem approach to drive that growth from the ground up.
Shifting gears now from food security, let's talk about national security. The government has just given the green light to a major procurement plan, and it's all about bolstering the Indian Air Force.
And what's the headline here? A whopping 114 new Rafale fighter jets. Now, if you follow defense, you know these are considered some of the most advanced combat aircraft out there. This is a huge next-generation upgrade for the IAF, no doubt about it.
And as you can imagine, a purchase like this comes with a pretty hefty price tag. We're talking about an investment of roughly 3.6 lakh crore rupees. That's a massive number, and it really shows a serious long-term commitment to modernizing the country's defense setup.
So what's the strategy behind this massive spend? Well, it's really a 2-for-1 deal. On one hand, it's about boosting India's strategic superiority in the region, which is obviously crucial. But it also connects directly to the Viksit Bharat vision. The idea is to push for more of this advanced manufacturing to happen domestically, right here in India.
Okay, let's pivot from high-tech jets to a technology that's been with us for a lot longer, the radio. Every single year on February 13th, we celebrate World Radio Day, a day to recognize the incredible power of this medium.
Now, the theme for 2026 is super interesting. It's radio and artificial intelligence. And that tagline, AI is a tool, not a voice, wow, that really cuts to the core of a big question, doesn't it? As AI gets more and more integrated into our lives, what happens to the human touch in traditional media like radio? It's a huge debate.
And just a little bit of history. The day actually commemorates the start of United Nations Radio way back in 1946. It's a great reminder that for decades, radio has been a vital tool for democracy and for reaching people everywhere. And now, that very role is being looked at again through the lens of AI.
Now for a more local story. We're heading to the Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory, where the Jammu District Administration has just rolled out some new regulations for spas and massage centers.
So, what's the main takeaway? A complete ban on cross-gender massages. The administration says this new rule is a preventative measure, designed to help stop illegal activities that can sometimes be linked to these kinds of places.
You might be wondering, how can they do this? Well, they're using their legal authority under Section 163 of the Bharatiya Nagrik Surakshya Sanhita, or BNSS for short. This is pretty significant because the BNSS is part of that whole new set of criminal laws that just replaced the old colonial-era codes. And this particular section gives them the power to issue these kinds of orders for public safety.
So, the new rule is super straightforward. Male masseuses for male clients only, female masseuses for female clients only. It's a clear-cut separation that every center in the district now needs to follow.
Staying in Jammu and Kashmir, we're shifting from an administrative order to something happening in the legislature. Lawmakers there are now getting ready to tackle the really tricky issue of social media.
And what's the problem? It's one we're all familiar with, right? The explosion of fake news and those nasty, coordinated smear campaigns you see online. You know, figuring out how to regulate this without stepping on free speech is a massive challenge for governments everywhere. And now it's front and center in J&K.
Well, with concerns mounting from lawmakers, the Speaker of the J&K Legislative Assembly, Abdul Rahim Rather, has made it clear this won't be swept under the rug. He's given his official word that a formal discussion on this very topic is going to happen in the Assembly.
So what's really pushing this conversation forward? It seems to come down to 2 major concerns. First, the targeted harassment of elected officials online. And second, the very real fear that all this misinformation could actually destabilize the region. It's a powerful reminder that what happens online has serious, real-world consequences. So how lawmakers try to strike that balance between regulation and freedom, that's going to be a critical story to watch, not just in J&K, but really everywhere.